Hello guys, and welcome to the next mini tutorial. Today we're going to be looking quickly at how to set up your Marksdwarves. This is something new players struggle with tremendously. It's one of the trickier things that are really important to the game. So I'm going to try to cover as much of the basics as possible. So to start off, I have created a squad and put the people I want to be Marksdwarves in it. I have Jurist, Zol, Goldak, Zolbin, and Rotherlod. And the only other thing to note about this is that I've assigned their uniform to be archers. So that's the uniform they're using, is the default archers one. I only did this part in advance because in the past it can take some time to get that all set up, and so I found it's easier just to put these people here. Jurist was part of my old Marksdwarf squad, and he's the only surviving member. So we're going to be starting a new one with him in it. Now we want to go to equipment, and they're going to be wearing leather, and they're going to have individual choice ranged weapons. Now the other thing they all need is a quiver, so they can carry their ammunition, but I know I have enough of those, so I don't need to worry about that. Now if we go to F for ammunition, this is where people make mistakes. So each dwarf can hold up to 25 bolts at a time. So this is about a fair enough number, but I always increase it pretty high up because I just want to make sure a lot are set aside. Now, I have material, and I want them to be using metal bolts for everything. Combat and training. Oftentimes, this is what people do that's wrong. They'll come in here, and they'll say, alright, and I want them to take 500 bolts of bone bolts, and they'll use those for and these ones will be the training ones, and these will be the combat ones. So what this would mean, theoretically, is that you would use your metal bolts for combat and your bone bolts for training. That doesn't work. If you set it up like that, they're going to get really confused. They'll have to drop all their stuff. That's not a system that works. So if you want to have metal bolts, they have to be for both. So just make a lot of them. You can make bolts, though, out of pretty much any metal, and they're going to have the same effectiveness, roughly speaking, so it's not a crisis. Alright. So the other thing we have to do, if I'm going to assign those dwarves to the squad, which I am going to, I want to come over here and make sure that none of the ones I just put in have hunting on. Because if they have hunting turned on, it's this group here, if hunting is turned on for those dwarfs, they will not be able to train. If hunting is turned on for the dwarfs, they will not be able to train as Marksdwarves, because hunting has a natural uniform that includes bolts, and so does the military, and so they'll have to switch out their crossbows. All of that equipment will be traded every single time they switch from one role to the other, and that basically means that they won't do their job, and you're just going to get equipment mismatch. The same thing can be true if you put miners or woodcutters in the your melee squads, but it's more important here because hunters also carry quivers, they carry bolts, they carry crossbows, and all of that stuff will have to be they'll drop their hunting ones, they have to go get their military ones, they have to switch bolts, the bolts will get messed up. Don't do it. Make sure that there's no crossover between your military dwarfs and your hunting dwarfs. They can't even have the same skill. Alright. So now that we have this set up, we need to work on a little barracks area for them. So what I have here, and this has already been set up, but essentially I use P and Z for ammo, and I'm going to make an ammo stockpile, and I'll actually remove the old one and just do a new one, and then we can just show you how to do it. So Z for ammo, and I'm putting it near my area I'm going to put the barracks in. I've already designated this is my main gate. Sorry, it's covered in goblins. So above it is where I want my crossbowmen training. So I'm going to designate this as an ammo, and then I'm going to go escape, Q, settings, and I want to make sure that this is just bolts, and that they're not wood or bone, that it's just metal bolts that are going in here. So that's all set up. Now we're going to go up a level. And you want to build your crossbow training area and an area where they have the option of where you can dig down a level, and I'll show you why in a second. So what I have here, and actually let me free these and then I'll restart from scratch. So what I have here are 3 archery targets. 1, 2, 3. And behind them is open space. This area here is channeled out. It doesn't go anywhere. And there's a space between each archery target. So what that means is that if I have a dwarf standing here, and they fire their bolt, if they miss, if they hit the archery target, the bolt is destroyed. If they miss the archery target, and the bolt falls down a level, then it will land here and we can recover it. But if I had the archery targets on this level and they couldn't fall, they just hit the wall, they shatter. So bolts are only savable if they fall a Z level. So by channeling out this area, I'm going to save all the missed bolts. We won't have to destroy as many. So now we have our archery targets. We need to go to them, hit R for archery range. The size is fine, that doesn't matter. We're going to shoot from the right side to the left, and we can change that with WASD. From right to left, and this is going to be for the new caves. That's the squad, and they're going to TIQ there. Train, individual equipment, squad equipment. Actually, yeah, that's fine. We're going to do the same thing here. R, enter, right to left, TIQ. R, enter, right to left, TIQ. Now we have an area where they can train. They have bolts right under it, and they will be able to fire the bolts at the targets and go through like that. Now the last thing I want to do is set up a patrol. And so if you notice, my fort has a wall around the perimeter. And if we go up 2 levels, there's actually a wall with a little lip for the fortification. So I want the Marksdwarves to patrol the fortification. And so to do that, I'm going to go to, I always forget what button this is. It is N. Shift N, sorry. So now I'm going to make a route. So I want to designate every stop on the route. So I want them to start here. So I hit P to place the first point. P to place the next point. P. P, 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 P. So now I've placed the points on the map. But that's not enough. So the next thing I have to do is go to R and hit routes. So I went Shift N and then I did the points with P, and now I hit R to go to routes. So now I have to hit A to add a... Actually, sorry, I want to first edit the route, and I want to delete my old one, so there's no confusion. Alright, so now I'm going to hit A to add a route, and I can hit N to name it, and I'm going to make this patrol. Patrol. There we go. There we go. Enter. So now we're going to add E to edit the waypoints. So then we want to start going. We want this to be waypoint 1. This is waypoint 2, and we can start to see the blue line is now showing us the patrol. So now look, our patrol goes directly around our edge. So now we hit escape. Oh, so we hit P to go back, and then we hit escape. So now I want to set up the dwarfs to do all that stuff. So I'm going to hit M, I'm going to hit schedule, and I'm going to scroll over so I'm lined up with the new caves. Alright, so the first thing we have to do, just like before, is we want to give the orders now for them to do these jobs. And this is a little more complicated than before, so I want to show you how we do it. So I'm going to cancel all the orders for them, because I want to do it very particularly in my own way. Alright. So we're going to give a new order, so O to give an order. And the first order is going to be to patrol the route, patrol. So I'm going to hit, and I'm going to go plus, because I want 2 soldiers to patrol the patrol route at any time. And I don't care which ones those are. If you scroll over, you can actually select which dwarfs do this, but we don't need that. So shift enter, done. But I want to add a second order. So right now we have one order, which is 2 dwarves patrol. Oh, sorry, I don't want it to have them selected. I thought I got rid of them. So 2 dwarfs are going to patrol the patrol route. The next order I want to do, so O to give order, and this is going to be, I'm hitting O to change the type of order, a train order, and we want 3 dwarfs to do this. So we have 2 dwarfs patrolling, 3 dwarfs training. Great. And now it says mixed here, because we have 2 different things going on. Now I can copy it and paste. So notice I'm skipping every 3 months so that there's going to be a break for them. Although, actually, I don't think you need to do that so much with these guys, because Marksdwarves don't train to train as much as everyone else. So now they have all their orders. This should be enough to get them moving. Now, the Marksdwarves are tricky, so unfortunately, the best advice I can give you at this second is that once we've set all of that up, we're going to hit space. Sorry, we need to go to squads. G is the new caves, and T to activate them. So now, we should see in a second, it'll pop up on the bottom that the squad, they've become certain things. It'll take a moment to come, but it will. Stop canceling orders. It'll come up in a second. I promise. If we come here, we should see, if I scroll up, I said that was all going to work, and now I'm stuck here. Squad G. Alright, so they should be coming to train in a second. Let's see, did we get it to work? There are no alerts on, okay. So now we're storing items in the stockpile. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure it works out, because right now it's still not doing what I wanted it to. Pick up equipment. There we go. So Goldak is going to get his equipment. And he's headed downstairs. He has to grab a quiver. He has to buy bolts. There's a lot of different little steps. We can just follow him for a minute. We're just going to make sure that after he grabs all this stuff, he's going to go up there to train. If all goes well, we should see him in a minute on the upper level training. This is one of those things that really does, and he goes to socialize. Let's go up and see. Did we get anyone doing it yet? No, we're still waiting. Okay. But they did become what I wanted them to. So, let's just see. Do we have any of them coming to me? I have 2 picking up equipment. Where's the militia commando? That's Urist. He is resting. The Marksdwarves are a pain. They're annoying. It takes a very long time to get it right, but we are on track. This is how you do it. So now we just need to wait and be patient, and I will come down. You say soldier, no other job, but you're about to go socialize, I think. No, you're picking up equipment. Okay, now you're socializing. Great. The best thing really for me to do here is to sit for a while and just wait. So we'll just wait a few minutes, and hopefully No, I haven't gone on for too long. We're just at 15 minutes. Look at that. Okay. So we'll sit for a minute and wait and see if we can get... The Goldak just said equipment mismatch. Oh, that is the worst sound in the world. Equipment mismatch. So let's go to him. Figure out what is the mismatch. You have a crossbow and a quiver. And the quiver has bolts in it. Okay, so he's now armed and taken care of. Does it have to do with your armor? Because I can also not have them in armor. That's the alternative if they're going to complain too much. But let's see. I think we should be nearing a point where they're going to do it. Grabbing all the stuff. Now he has to go fill his water skin downstairs. Or he's going to fill it with beer. That's better. And now he's going to archery practice. Excellent. So look down here. We officially have a recruit going up to train, and hopefully you'll be able to watch him fire and watch the... And now he says... And now he's going back downstairs to get more equipment. It's complicated. Let's see. I mean, I know this works, so we just kind of have to be patient. I knew this was going to happen. The archery stuff is hard to figure out. I mean, even though technically everything's been done right. Oh, so there we go. We have, there's Ravlov. Why does he claim to be an axe dwarf? I guess he might have more skill in that, but right, he does have his iron bolts, and he is doing a patrol. So if we see Ravlov is coming around patrolling, so he's on duty following that order. Which is exactly what we wanted. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see from him. Beautiful. So I'm just hoping that I can show you the other guys up there firing before the day is out. So now he says going to archery practice again. Let's see if that happens. There we go. Alright, so he is now firing at the target. We have, if we go slowly ahead, I'm just going to go piece by piece. So right now I'm just using the period button to one dot. Okay, so we just saw a bolt go flying here. Let's see if we can get one more. I just want to show you the still frame. So I have proof that they're actually firing. There we go. Right here we have a iron bolt that's being launched at the target. If he misses, it'll fall down here, but he's not going to miss because of that range. So he is indeed training to become a better archer. So we've done it. We've successfully set up a patrol route. We've set up an archery area. Just know they are not going to train every single second of the day. It's very difficult to get Marksdwarves to do that. But at least now we have a dwarf who's training. He's firing his bolts, and he will become progressively better as he spends time practicing. So now he's already dabbling, and that will keep going up as he keeps firing more and more. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I know this is not the easiest thing in the game, but there's no reason you shouldn't be able to figure it out. The one thing I would say, though, is you can tell my archery range is really small, and I wish it was a little bit bigger, actually. I wish it went out to here, because I believe that you get more skill for firing at a farther target and hitting it. It would also mean that more bolts would be recovered. But it's not a crisis either way. So let's... And now here's the other recruit coming to practice. Excellent. So there we go. I have a... And he went downstairs, it looks like, and Great, Zolban's here. So we actually have the squad working. That's amazing. I didn't actually know that they would all show up like that. So, if we hit play, they'll fire off bolts for a minute, and we'll call it off from there. You can see right here, this like the funny little mark on the ground is like the residue, I guess, the dust from the bolts misfiring. There we go, and if they keep this up long enough, their skill level will jump up a little, and then we'll go from there. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Bye.